The High Altitude Observatory has been studying the greatest show on Earth for over 3/4 of a century. Not that kind. This show happens on an astronomical scale. Yes, we're talking about solar eclipses. By knowing where the sun is relative to the Earth, where the moon is relative to the Earth, and where the moon is relative between the two. A solar eclipse happens when the moon is directly in between the Earth and the sun. This causes the moon to cast a shadow onto the Earth, creating a spectacle like no other. Well, it's a lot more than just celestial shadow puppet shows. Watersheds. Do you live on land?
No.
No. Well, if you're not like these guys and you live on land, guess what? You are living in a watershed. Now, a watershed isn't this, or this, or this. And it's definitely not to be confused with a water closet, which is an old-timey term for a bathroom. No, but no matter where you live, it's in a watershed.
Arr!
Arr! Right. I'm not talking about you guys. So get out there, grab a friend even, and make a difference in determining the health of your watershed. Sure, tempt fate. We often do. Go ahead, be tough, laugh heartily at nature. While we know we can't control nature, we can control choices about our built environment. There is another way. We can plan ahead so that when things do go wrong, it's not the end of the world. Engineers use the term graceful failure. It's a way of designing systems, so if that part of that system should fail, the core functions continue, possibly at a reduced level, rather than fail completely in an extreme event. They fail instead gracefully. This isn't new. Just about all of our electronics are designed for graceful failure. Our advice? Avoid tempting fate. Prepare yourselves. To find out how, join us. Biofilms are communities of bacteria that combine together, making themselves resistant against our arsenal of antibiotics. You see, while we have drugs that can kill a single bacterium,
What a world!
when bacteria assemble together, there are no such drugs that can match the force of biofilm. Would you believe me if I told you that orcas will fly through the sky, collecting crucial data about climate change and improve our ability to see into the future? Not those orcas. Some say we know more about the surface of Mars than the Southern Ocean. What? The Orcas campaign will help to change that, advancing research in the area about its role in the carbon cycle, the larger climate system, and the state of its ecosystem as well. Anytime you hear the word wild, you can bet it's referring to something uncontrollable and unrestrained. Wild things, wild animal, wild phase. Wildfires are no exception. Ask any firefighter. But sit tight. Attribution research may crack the nut. And science researchers in this emerging field are on the case. 1859 gold rush was not successful for most. A few tried farming along the Pooter. Simple dirt dams directed water to fields right beside the river. When spring runoff washed the dams away, new ones were built.
But it doesn't have to be that way. You can fix it with 3 one-minute phone calls.
Over time, your scale bar selections will help show how conditions may have transitioned from wet to dry or dry to wet, depending on the season and how much precipitation has fallen. For more information on becoming a condition monitoring volunteer, sign up on the CocoRa's website at www.cocoras.org.